Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Courageous Chick. I am Shakia Mayer, and we are going to talk about this show. We're going to have a little discussion. We are going to have a little discussion about the show sMothered. So I don't know who caught my video. I think it was maybe last summer. I did a video on this show. I watched the first episode and I watched a few episodes after that as well. And I created a video talking about family enmeshment, and I used the show as examples of family enmeshment. So just in case you didn't catch that video, but go back and watch it. When we talk about enmeshment, we're talking about boundaries that aren't clear between family members. We're talking about overstepping boundaries. There are no boundaries. There are no limits. We're talking about feeling each other's emotions, right? But in an unhealthy way. They're enmeshed. So the show season 2 premiered yesterday. And I watched it because they had some people on there who were a part of the first season. And so I wanted to see if anything changed. Now, I don't think anything drastic would change. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on the show. Nonetheless, I wanted to check it out. And I watched it. And if I am being honest with you all, it was so hard for me to watch this show. It made me so uncomfortable. There were moments where, look, let's just have a real conversation. I was just getting so upset. And so I had to, monitor and check my emotions. Don't get too involved or wrapped up in this show. But it was just disturbing. And while this video right now that I'm doing, it might be a little more lighthearted, I definitely don't want this. I don't want to judge them, even though some of what I'm saying will come off as judgy. But it's so bizarre. Like, can we just call it what it is? These relationships that these mom and daughter duos have is bizarre. And listen, I'm close to my mom. I love my mom. We talk about all sorts of stuff together. We have fun together. But I would never do what some of these people do with their parents. I'm not doing that. So last season we had Angelica and her mom, Soni. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So they share bath water. And I made a big thing like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they share bath water. How much closer can you get to share bath water? Right? Because now she just soaked in the bath and now you're going to go soak in all of her dead skin. It's disturbing. So this season, they topped it. There's another mother-daughter duo, Brittany and Mary. Brittany is 19. Mary is 55. They shower together. Brittany is 19 and Mary is 55. And Mary, the mom, she washes Brittany as they shower together. I don't, it's just too much. And I mean, and Brittany, the daughter, she's like, I love when my mom washes me and washes my hair. Okay. I just did a video on my other channel talking about mental health services and how you can receive these services in the home. So even though, all this stuff is going on, you can still receive some services in the home, and so I want to extend that to some of these people who I was watching yesterday during this premiere. So they showered together. So let's actually talk about Brittany and Mary for a minute. Mary is married. She's not legally married. There was a situation that happened, there's just so much to cover, guys. And like I said, this video is a little more lighthearted. I may not be as clinical in this video, and it might come off as a little judgy because it was really hard for me to watch. It just was. Who watched this? I really do. I need to know that I'm not alone. So if you watch this show or you're planning to watch, please know, because I need somebody to talk to about this. I need somebody to talk to about this. It was just disturbing. It really was. But anyway, let me not just keep saying the same old thing, even though it's hard to say something different just because it really was. It disturbed me. But anyway, so when we stay on the topic of Brittany and Mary, okay? Again, Brittany is the daughter, Mary is the mom. Mary is married to her husband. I think I wrote his name down, Frank. I think his name's Frank, yes. Mary is married to Frank. They are not legally married because days before the wedding, Frank had a bachelor party. He went out, he had fun. He didn't do anything with any, so they went to like a strip club. His friends paid for him to have a private dance. He didn't do anything with anybody, but he went home and then he like watched some stuff on the computer, if you catch my drift. And Mary, the mom, was so upset and she was like, he cheated on me. Okay, so they're not legally married. She tore up the documents, the legal documents. The daughter is holding this over Frank. She's like, he hurt my mom. And anybody who hurts my mom, it's a problem. And again, I get it. As somebody who is close to her mother, I don't want anybody to hurt my mother. I get it. However, this situation is between Frank and Mary. But there are no boundaries. There are no boundaries. I mean, how could there be boundaries if they're showering together and the mom is washing the daughter who's 19 and who's able to wash herself? What the hell? Like, what is going on? Okay, so let's back up. To be fair, Brittany, when she was younger, she developed this, or she had this, or she has this health issue. And I can't remember the name of it. It was a long name. She has this health issue, and she started to develop and go through puberty really, really early. She always felt like the odd person out. She always felt different from her peers because her body was changing at a rate that was different than her peers. And so she often felt, what she described to be as isolated. And she and her mom became close. Her mom became her best friend. I get that. I think that's sweet that her mom was able to be there for her. I don't want to take anything away from that. The part where it starts to become disturbing is that they don't allow themselves to have individual lives and that they shower together. Like, I think at some point there has to be limits and boundaries. And the reason why I keep going back to this is because if you're not even able to shower by yourself, right, then what can you do anything by yourself? That ultimately is going to stunt your development in different ways, professionally, romantically. So Brittany doesn't really want her mom to be involved with anybody because then it's taking her best friend away from her. So it's just them. And that's, this narrative is the same for the mom, all of the mom and daughter duos. And what I continue to go back to is, if you all are so close and the daughter doesn't know how to do simple tasks by herself or refuses to do simple tasks by herself, then heaven forbid, if you are no longer here, you're no longer walking about, what does the daughter do? How do they continue to live their lives? How do they go on and find meaning in their lives if you're no longer here because you become their life? So while I can joke about this topic, because y'all gotta watch this mess. It's a mess. While I can make some jokes about it, there is a seriousness to this topic. Because then that leads me, and I won't even go into some of the examples on where my mind went, because I'm like, well, if your mom isn't here and she's your entire world, then how do you find meaning in life? How does life still be worth living to you? So that's Brittany and Mary. We didn't even get into, y'all, we still didn't even talk about We still didn't even get into it. We didn't even get into it. Okay, so we have Angelica and Sunyi. So this is the mom and daughter duo from last season who shared bathwater. God, Jesus. So bathing in each other's dead skin cells. This is that mom and daughter duo. At first I was watching it and I'm like, okay, Angelica's the daughter. I'm like, okay, awesome. It sounds like she is trying to have boundaries. She's trying to establish boundaries with her mom. She and Jason are still together. They're trying to make it work. This is great. Good for her. You know, she's taking some steps forward. The mother, Sunyi, she tracks her down because she's like, Angelica left the house without telling me anything. I don't know where she is. That's odd for her to do that. Where is she? So what does she do? She goes on her phone and she tracks her. So she finds her at a nail salon. And she's like, we usually get our nails done together. We do this stuff together. Who is she here with? How dare she do something else with somebody else who's not me? She goes inside. Sunyi goes inside. She goes inside of the nail salon. She sees Jason and Angelica there, and they're getting a pedicure, having a cute time. They're on a date. So she walks in, and Angelica's like, Mom, what are you doing here? We're on a date. And she's like, oh, well, you know, you left and you didn't say anything. And so she's like, Angelica's asking her, how did you even know I was here? So Sunyi says, well, you know, I tracked you. And so Angelica, you know, during her interview, she's saying, I'm going to disable all of those services. Good for you, Angelica. Disable all of those services because this makes no sense to me. If your life becomes if everything about your life has to do with another person, be it a spouse, a child, whomever, and all of your life is that one thing or that one person, you are in for some trouble. And what do I mean by that? We see that happening. As Angelica is trying to break away, she gets caught in the middle of independence and enmeshment. And now Sunyi is like, I don't even know what to do with myself. She's my world. Again, I get what it means to be close to a parent. I get what it means to be raised by a single parent. I was raised by a single parent. And we are tight, but we ain't sharing no bath water. My mom is not washing me up. No, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. But anyway, so I'll try and speed this along. I don't want to bore you guys, but so Angelica is saying, I love to please my mom. And this is so common when we talk about enmeshment. And it's also common when we talk about these family dynamics and where the child doesn't feel safe enough. I'll use the word safe or comfortable enough to assert themselves. So they don't even have the proper skills or tools to be able to communicate with their parent in this case. So that interpersonal effectiveness, that interpersonal communication, that's out the window. They're not being effective. They are dependent on each other for everything. These mom and daughter duos are dependent on each other. There's a codependency. What happens if there's a codependency? What happens when the other person tries to break away from that? Now you have somebody else who feels lost, confused, don't know what to do. They feel lonely. You have to have your own life. You have to have your own identity. It is absolutely okay. You don't need to share no bathwater with your mother. You don't need at 19 to have your mother washing you. Lord, not when you're able to wash yourself. And if this was a situation where there was an issue, there was a medical issue or developmental issue, I get that. So in no way, and I don't want anybody to take this as me judging people who need that type of service. The people who I'm talking about right now and my little notes, they don't need that service. They are capable of doing it themselves. All right, so let me move on. Oh, wait, I can't even move on from Sunyi and Angelica. I can't. You want to know why? Because as they are getting a pedicure, some of y'all are like, what is going on with Shakira right now? Just indulge me. But as they are getting a pedicure, Jason, who is Angelica's boyfriend, and he gave her like this little promise ring, and he's still legally married. He's been separated from his wife for years, but he's still legally married, wasn't in a position to propose to Angelica. Fair enough. He is moving along that process so that he can get a divorce. He's like, he was so excited to show Angelica the divorce papers signed. They were going to go to court the next day so that they can take care of it and be done. Suni says. So Jason shows Suni and Angelica the divorce papers, and Suni says, well, I would like to be there. I thought, lady, why do you need to be there? This isn't your battle. If anybody who wants to be there because they want to make sure everything goes according to plan, that should be Angelica, not you. That's not your place. And again, with enmeshment, nobody has a place. It's a free-for-all for all this foolishness. So Jason is sitting over there like, what the hell? He's like, I don't really know about that, and he gives in, which I was upset. Don't give in, Jason, but he gave in. And Sonia is saying to Angelica, well, don't you want to know? And then Sonia is asking Jason, do you think your ex-wife will sign? Do you think she will sign? Do you think she still loves you? Let Angelica and Jason have that conversation, and then let you have that conversation with Angelica. Why? Because Angelica is an adult, and she needs to be able to handle herself, advocate for herself, and assert herself. She won't be able to do that if you are always doing that for her. And that happens throughout all of these little family dynamics that we see. Y'all, okay. So I'm gonna move on from Jason and Suni, right? Jason and see, look, I'm called Jason, Suni, and Angelica right now. But I'll be back next week. So now we have Marcia, who's the mom, and Elena, who's the daughter. I didn't catch their ages. Oh, but okay, so if you think the bathwater and the showering together is disturbing, catch this. Marcia, the mom, she wakes Elena, the daughter, up, who is, I believe she is 19. She's either 19 or 21, something like that. But so Marcia wakes Elena up by licking her face in the morning. She pretends that she's a dog and she licks this grown woman's face in the morning to wake her up. Y'all, oh my heavens. Okay, so let me give you a little backstory because I do like to try and be fair. And I'm just reading the comments. So this is Smothered, Johnson. This is Smothered. It comes on TLC. Y'all, listen, you want a word for Sunday? Watch Smothered, and I'm sure you'll catch something. You'll catch something to put into your Sunday sermon to help somebody. Okay, so we have so I want to try and be fair and extend some compassion, right? The same way we did with Brittany and Suni and Angelica. You know, Suni and Angelica, it was just them. Angelica's dad left when she was a little girl, so they had to become tight. Marcia and Elena, Marcia couldn't have biological children, so she wanted to adopt, and she went to, I believe, Siberia, and she was able to adopt Elena, and it was this instant connection. They even look alike, and everybody comments on how much they look alike, and I think that is beautiful, and I don't want to take away anything from that. Elena also has medical issues. She is, I don't remember the medical issue she has specifically, but I know that she has to have infusions once a week, or she said, you know, she will become, what in her words, she said she will die a slow, painful death. So she has to have infusions every week. And she's also a little person. And so that, you know, she has these challenges, and they have this unique bond with her being adopted and them just being, you know, an amazing family. And it sounds like it was just the two of them as well. I'm not sure if Elena or if Marcia had a partner, or if Elena had, you know, an adoptive father either. Okay, so Elena, the daughter, she wakes up every morning because her mom licks her face. They play these like childish games. They run around. They run around the table chasing each other. And they pretend to be like the dog and stuff. And they literally, guys, they literally chase each other. Oh my Lord, I just can't take it. Yeah, her mom helps. So Marcia helps Elena pick out her clothes every day. So Elena's like, well, what do you think I should wear, Mom? Help me, Mom. Do this for me, Mom. Marcia cooks for Elena every day. And Marcia was saying, you know, you do need to, I love taking care of her. And she said to her, I love taking care of you, but you might want to learn how to do this yourself. And again, it's true. You know, Marcia didn't look very young. She looked like she was pretty up there in age. I don't recall how old she is though. So I don't know right now, but my point is, and I said this earlier, what happens, heaven forbid, the mom passes away. This woman gets woken up by her mom licking her face. That's her alarm clock. Her mom makes her food, all of her food. Her mom cleans and cooks for her. Like, how can she be independent? How can any of them be independent? All right, y'all, I'm not going to spend too much time on them. I'm going to move on to Christina and Kathy. Now, as much as this show gets on my nerves because it's just weird and disturbing, but I watch it. I watch it for y'all because I want to come on here and I want to have these conversations with y'all. As much as it is disturbing, Christina and Kathy, I have to tell you, I got to be honest, I find them to be so funny, still disturbing, and they need boundaries, but there is something about them that is likable. And so that helps me to tolerate the show. Christina is 35, Kathy is 61. Oh my heavens. So we see Kathy, the mom, driving to Christina's house, and she goes, we live 5 houses apart, and even that's too far. Lord. Okay. And because I don't want to make this video super long, I won't go into all of their backstory, but what I will say is they're a mess. They dress like one another. They talk like one another. Now Kathy, the mom, is trying to get Christina, the daughter, to move her and her family into her house because Christina is having renovation done. But Christina's husband is like, I don't want to do that. Y'all are already sick. He like says all types of stuff to him, which is maybe not so nice. But he goes, this is already unhealthy. Like, you guys are already super close. I don't want to live with her. And they, don't respect boundaries, shows up at the gym, even though Carlo asks the wife, don't show up at the gym. This is my time. They do it anyway. The mom is like, no, we're going to find out, what he's really doing at the gym. And we're going to get to the bottom of why he doesn't want you all to come live with me. Last season, the mom was trying to marry off the younger daughter. So that's something I'm going to be talking about when I make another video, because I didn't go into too much detail about this when I made my last video, which is these people have other children. Most of these mom and daughter duos, most of these moms, they have other children. So I think about what happens to the other child who's not receiving not nearly as much attention. What about those relationships? So you have enmeshment in many ways, but then there is a lot of distance and conflict because that other sibling or siblings, because some of them have multiple children, are not receiving that same type of affection. And maybe not that type of affection because it's too much, but receiving a healthy amount of affection. What about those other siblings? So y'all, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what some of your questions are or what you would like for me to explore as I continue to watch these episodes, because I do this for y'all so we can have something to talk about. because this stuff is really disturbing. You know, last season, like I said before, I couldn't get over the fact that Sunyi and Angelica was sharing bathwater. And when I saw those two women, the mom and daughter, sharing the shower, and the mom literally started to wash the daughter, that just took the cake. I said, what in the... Whew. Y'all, I don't know. It was hard to watch it. Let me know. I really want to know if anybody else watched this show, Smothered. Season 2 premiered yesterday. It comes on TLC. If you like this video and you want more videos like this, definitely let me know, because I'm going to make another video about this because it's entertaining. Again, we still want to extend compassion, you know, but what I saw in the shows, everybody was capable of doing these things themselves. They just need a little, they need a little help. They need some help. They need some support. They need a little guidance. They need something, guys. Yeah. All right, guys. That's all I have. I just had to hop on because I said, what the hell? And I just felt like there would be somebody up here who would agree with me. I needed somebody to talk to about it. Okay, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this afternoon. I hope that you had a courageous day, and we will do this real soon. Bye.